number one in the streets. I'm at STREETZ945. Jaytek here. Sarah Vivan here. Afternoon turn up. We are on, and we are so happy that today's guest, when I tell you this man has done so much, he definitely is the true meaning of a mogul. When I tell you this man has over 40 years in this business, it is crazy. Yeah, he says, wow. Ladies and gentlemen, Antonio L.A. Reid is in the building. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, sir. You just scared me. 40 years. You just scared me, man.
What?
That's a long time.
Hey, man, but that, you know what? More than a long time, it's a blessing.
Yes, it is. It really, really is. And I'm blessed to be here.
Definitely.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. We're excited to have you here. Let's talk about this. Sing to me.
Yes.
What inspired you to write this book, other than just everything you've been through? I mean, what really inspired you to say, I'm gonna write a book?
I think I had inspiration on many levels, to write the book. One is, I've had so many. I continue to have so many pinch myself moments, right? And I look back and say, wow, these artists are really important. These artists are really special. So that's a part of it, just sharing stories. But the greater part of it was just wanting to share my motivation, my inspiration, and just sort of try to drop some jewels, for young people who read it. This isn't just a book about music for music lovers. It's really about people that aspire to do great things,
right?
And just really sort of laying out for people that how I see the world and how I see obstacles as doorways,
okay,
to greatness.
Let's start from the beginning. You from Cincinnati?
I'm from Cincinnati.
I'm from Cincinnati.
No, you're not.
That's why I had to go there.
I know you did.
Oh, really? You really are?
Yes.
Wow.
I moved here 7 years ago. So born and raised in Cincinnati.
Really?
Yep.
You're probably from the good part. You look like you were from the good part.
I'm not. I'm from Whitten Terrace. I saw you were from Mount Auburn. That's the good part.
What?
At least now it is.
Mount Auburn is the good part?
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. It wasn't when I was growing up.
Do you go back there often?
I was just there recently on my book tour. I don't go often. I used to go every year. My mother passed away a few years ago, so I don't go as much anymore. Still have a lot of friends and relatives there, though. I love Cincinnati.
Do you ever think about going back there and kind of building the music scene out there? Because they have the Jazz Fest. They have a lot of artists that come from there. No.
Sure.
They also have the School of Creative and Performing Arts, and I feel like I could see like a whole wing, L.A.
Yes,
Reid wing.
That I will do. That I intend to do, really. I went and I visited the school, and I spoke to the kids, and it was something. The kids were really smart. I asked all the kids I did a Q&A with them, and I said, ask me anything, but don't ask me, can you audition for me?
Right.
Ask me something that can really be purposeful to you, and the kids were asking me some of the greatest questions ever, but real stuff, like how do I deal with the jitters before I walk on stage? Like, well, I still get them, maybe it's a good thing, but they were asking me really good stuff though. So yes, I do have that commitment. I don't want to go back there. I don't want to live there.
Right.
I live in New York. I love Atlanta. I love New York. I love LA. And I feel like I escaped. So I'm not going back.
I understand.
Every time I go back, I'm like, I won't even spend the night. I'm always thinking I might get stuck there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I know that feeling.
You know what I mean?
I know that feeling.
Like, I got out. I'm not going back, But, yeah.
So I'll be honest, I haven't had a chance to read the book yet. I just got it yesterday, but I'm really excited to because everybody is saying how great of a book it is, how easy of a read it is, and it's mostly because of all the stories you tell about some of our favorite artists and how human you make them seem. So when you sat down to write this book, how did you decide, what stories made it in the book? Because I'm sure you witnessed a lot of, juicy, embarrassing moments. How did you decide which ones went in?
The first thing was that I really sort of sanitized my thinking, and I didn't want to write anything disparaging about anyone.
Right.
And I didn't. I really wanted to just tell about my relationship with music, my relationship with artists, and my own ups and downs, right? And those stories happen to include artists, but I didn't really want to talk about them. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I tried to tell the stories that were just the most memorable to me. That was really all it was. It's like things. I have a great memory for or maybe maybe at least in my mind, I've created these great memories and these stories with great beginnings and great endings. And sometimes I wonder, like, did that really happen, or is that just how I imagined it?
Right.
You know. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about my journey, and it happened to include a lot of artists. But I was very careful.
What's a story that didn't make the book?
Oh my God, there's so many stories that didn't make the book. I was up till 3 o'clock this morning with my brother and one of my good friends, Toby, and just talking about like the other book, the book I didn't write.
Right.
You know?
You might have to do a sequel.
Oh no, it's the book that I shouldn't write.
Right, okay.
No.
That's the book you shouldn't write?
No, man, because you know, there's a lot that goes in. There's a lot that's gone into the careers of all the artists. I have so much appreciation for all the artists I've worked with, but there's a very dark business side to what we do, and I don't talk about it. I've never talked about it. And last night I had a field day with it, so maybe last night I got it all off my chest.
Right.
You know, but it's a very dark. It can be a very dark business. You know, particularly for people that look like me.
Wow. You know, I looked over a lot of different publications that, you know, had things to say about the book, or, you know, who literally went through parts of the book. And I got this one. Some writers in London spoke about, I guess, where they read in the book how you spoke of Michael Jackson as being cold as ice.
Wow. I think, yeah, not necessarily that Michael Jackson walked around as this cold as ice person, but I had real life moments with Michael that, in my mind, Michael Jackson, first of all, he is like the greatest entertainer ever.
Yeah.
And I think of him almost as a superhero.
Right.
And so I think I was just a little bit stunned that he was just normal. Because what may appear cold as ice was just because in my mind I saw him as this character, almost this fictional character. And in truth, he's Michael. He's a Jackson. He's a real guy. And you ask him a real question, he'll give you a real answer. You
Right.
know? So yeah, so, you know, so we had some wonderful times together, and one of those moments, he just dropped some real jewels on me. You know,
That you wouldn't expect to probably come from him, right?
I always thought he was going to be in character.
Okay.
And I never thought, you know, he would close the door, turn off the mic, and actually leave the character outside the door and just talk to me like a person. And he did. And then I went into character because I couldn't believe it. You know what I mean? I couldn't be as real as he was, you know. But yeah, Michael was incredible. I really do miss him. We weren't friends. We worked together, and we spent enough time together that we talked on the phone a few times. We visited each other a few times, but not so much that we were like boys,
Right.
you know, but just enough that I got a glimpse of the real person. Yeah.
Okay, the person versus the entertainer.
Versus the entertainer. That's exactly right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah, I loved it.
So I'm a millennial, under 30. And obviously, I know you're legendary, but I never realized how many super megastars you actually had your hand in. Have you ever kept count?
No, I don't count. No.
You need to. It's a lot.
I think you're right. I should, you know, when I'm done. I'm not done.
You're not done.
No, not even close.
Right. So with the millennial situation and with social media, do you feel like it's made the game sort of lazy? Because I feel like a lot of artists or people think that because of their social media following or presence, they don't have to get out here and do promo, you know, or even sometimes perform because they feel like they can make money off tweeting something or posting a picture.
Yeah, it's true. But that's a different career, isn't it? I mean, that's really, it's found money. It's a different career. It has nothing to do with what really interests me. Like, what really interests me are entertainers that are willing to really work hard at it. Work hard at being great. That really matters to me. And being gracious and getting out and doing the work and the promoting and letting people know that you're very dedicated to it. Because, you know, sometimes I found myself in the place where me and my company are willing to work harder for an artist than the artist may be willing to work for themselves.
Right.
And I don't like that. And you don't like that,
Right.
you know. So I think I'm still all about getting out there and getting the job done. Like go in the studio and make the greatest music, but also go on stage and give me the greatest show. Like give me a complete thing. Like everybody can make a record. You can make it at home, right?
Yeah,
and
nowadays.
like you said, you can make the record at home, and then you can press send, and it goes to all your followers, and that's great. But get out here and do the work. You know.
So speaking to that, do you feel like there's a lot of people who, because of social media, again, think they can just go independent and not, go to the majors?
Yeah, and that's cool. That doesn't bother me at all. That I encourage. Get your music out. However, you don't have to go through somebody. You don't have to allow people to be the judge and the jury. You can go straight to the public and find out if you have something or not. You know, I encourage that, and I think that's a plus. And if I'm honest, it also saves us a lot of money.
Right.
Yeah, it does.
True.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, go test the market. See if you got something. You know.
I have this question for you. After all you've done in your career over the time that you've been in this music industry, what is L.A. Reid's goal now?
Next
goal.
the next person, the next artist. I've worked with some incredible artists, but I want to work with some even more incredible artists. Yeah, and there are business goals, obviously. There are life goals, but specific to my career in music, I want to work with the very best that ever walked the planet. Here's the thing. This you'll understand. I run Epic Records. Epic Records is the home of Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Yes.
The greatest album ever, the greatest selling album ever. I can't be comfortable or I can't be comfortable with myself until I create a record and an artist that rivals the greatest that we've ever seen. Or my stay is in vain almost. My job is to come up with something that's as great as Thriller and an artist that's as important as Michael Jackson. And that's what I'm doing it for.
Have you seen any flashes, I would say, in 2015 and 16 from any artist who you think could actually be as great?
I've seen flashes, yeah. Not anything like Michael.
Right.
Not anything like it, But yeah, I've seen some flashes of pure greatness. I think Kendrick Lamar is like great, right? And I thought his performance on the Grammys and his performance on Saturday Night Live proved to me that he might be the greatest, in terms of a hip hop artist on stage.
Okay.
Right? I know there are hip hop artists on records who are incredible. Nas being one of them, Jay-Z being one of them, Biggie, Tupac, right? I love Outkast, professionally and personally, I think they're incredible.
Right.
But to see somebody get on stage and become theatrical, I think he's like the top. So he's not a Michael Jackson type, but he's great like that. And he can become something, I mean, he's already become something, but I actually believe that this is the early stages of his career.
He could be a lot bigger.
Oh, I think so. By the way, I think he just got bigger.
Oh, yeah, he definitely did.
Yeah.
That night at the Grammys.
I really do. And I'm not here to promote artists that are not my artists. I'm selfish. I really just want to promote my artists, but
Right.
But in truth, that man's one of the greatest.
Wow.
What about Kanye? He's pretty theatrical, and he was your artist.
Yeah, Kanye was my artist for quite a while, and he's accomplished something very different that nobody else has accomplished. His albums, his run of successful albums. What's his first album? The
College
Dropout. Then the Late Registration. Then the Graduation.
Yep.
Then the 808. Right, and then I call it Twisted because that title is so long.
Yeah.
Twisted.
Right, and then the Watch the Throne album. Right, and all 6 albums in a row, #1 albums, classic albums, great, the greatest music out at the time. Each one of them were. You can't name me 2 other artists that have done that in their entire career, right? Even the great Michael Jackson had 3, Off the Wall, Thriller, and Bad, right?
Yeah.
Even the great Dr. Dre, who's great, right? Not 5, right? No one's had 5. Biggie,
That's a good point.
5 in a row, classic.
2, 3.
Right?
Yeah.
So to me, that puts Kanye in rarefied air. You know, so anything he does from this point forward, you know, he gets a pass from me.
Really?
But this one's a classic too. I feel like the
He's
life of
already done the
Pablo
greatness.
classic.
Hmm?
I feel like the life of Pablo.
No, I haven't
This-
heard it because it's not mine. So
Right.
Oh.
I mean,
get it.
You know,
You're selfish.
I'm selfish.
I get it. Okay, well, let's talk about one of your artists, Future.
Yes.
Kanye tweeted yesterday, and he said that we need to see Future in the Grammys.
Yeah, I think he's right about that. But in time.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is, it's our. When I say our, all of us in this room, all of us in the business, it's our responsibilities to discover that kind of talent first.
Mm-hmm.
The Grammys shouldn't know about that first. That should be us first.
Right.
We're supposed to see around corners. We're supposed to know what's next in our culture, not the Grammys. The Grammys is supposed to react to what we say is next in our culture. So, next year.
Mm-hmm.
He's a little impatient, I guess.
How do you
Gotta be
feel?
patient.
How do you feel about what he said?
Otherwise, they'll take our jobs.
we
That's
we
true.
can't have that.
That's
we
true.
cannot have that.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. How do you feel about what he said about the Grammys want to see only a certain kind of black person?
I think the Grammys, here's a fact of life. That's not prejudice. It's a fact of life. The people that produce the Grammys have their taste. Like, there's one or two guys, they have their taste. They have a right to have their taste.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they can't see life through our eyes. You know what I mean? So we have to accept that, okay, you don't like the guy's taste, then either try to influence his taste or hope for somebody else to get the job. But that's their taste.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you see on the Grammys. And I personally think they do quite good, you know. Would I like to see more black artists on the show? Yeah, I'd like to see more black artists on the show, but I don't want to see all black artists on the show.
Right.
Right.
I want to see a diversified show. I want to see a show that's a true reflection of the culture.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
You've already received the President Merit Award, and like you said, you're not even done yet.
Yeah, I guess, right?
I mean, that's like a lifetime achievement. To already receive a lifetime achievement award, and you feel like you're not even close to being done.
No, I appreciate it.
They're gonna have to
though.
give it to you again.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I want to be the first one that gets it twice.
Right. That
Wow.
would be epic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
that
Be
would
epic.
definitely be epic.
That would be epic.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's a question. How influential has this city been on your career?
Atlanta?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Let me tell you. Atlanta is, I don't even know why I came here. Like, I came here in
Yeah, I read that.
1989, and I don't know why I came here. I have a clue why now. I've discovered something recently that gave me a glimpse as to why I came here. But there's something very special. There's something in this red clay that's a gift that keeps on giving. Atlanta has the most original artists. For the time I spent here, the artists were so original. There wasn't like 5 bands or 5 acts that were like Outkast. There was only Outkast, and then there was only Usher. There was only T.I. There was only Young Jeezy. Right? There's only Future. Future has a lot of people who like to, you know.
Copy.
But
Yeah.
there's only one Future.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We know the origin of it all.
Right.
Right? That's the truth. So the city produces originals, and I love that, you know. And you know what else I love about Atlanta is it's done everything for me. It's done everything for my family, and I'm really honored and grateful to the city. We know hip-hop started in
New York,
right?
out in the park.
Right?
Right.
But it's actually lived and been relevant from Atlanta for over 20 years.
Man, that's strong.
And it's still hot right now,
Yeah.
right? And I think that's fascinating. But it really speaks to just how great the city is and how great the music and entertainment is here. And when I came here in 1989, I didn't bring the artists. I didn't bring, you know, the culture. I brought infrastructure.
Okay.
And I brought a place where people could come and knock on the door and they could be heard, and gave them a platform to the world, right? And I'm proud of that. And I'm proud that Atlanta allowed me to do that. And I'm really proud that even to this day, you know, it's a gift that keeps on giving.
That's what's up.
Yeah, Atlanta's it.
There was a situation the other day where Karen Civil was on Tax Stone's podcast, and she was speaking about the Dipset's departure from Def Jam.
Yeah.
And she basically said it was because of, a falling out with Jay-Z. But then Cameron came back and said, no, actually, it was you who gave him the blessing and let him out of his contract because he had, offered to go to Warner for more money. Can you clear up that situation? What happened with that situation?
That was how I remember it, exactly the way Cameron said it. I don't, listen, I don't do beef.
Right.
I'm too old. You know what I mean? And I have a much different agenda. And I like everybody. You know what I mean? I don't do favorites and stuff. I do favorites. If you ask me my favorite, I'm going to tell you Outkast, and then I'm going to stop, right? But what I do remember was that Cameron wanted to try something different. And I said, why not? Give it a try, And, I consider him a friend. I consider him a friend to this day, We didn't have a falling out. I don't fall out with artists. I don't believe in that, Even in the midst of the height of TLC, the most famous bankruptcy of all time, we remained friends the entire time. We were recording, and because they realized that it was like, wait a minute, you're kind of an artist too, so maybe you're getting screwed too,
right?
But I don't believe in falling out with artists. Those are my babies, all of them.
That's what's up. So, L.A. Reid's "Sing to Me" in stores now.
Wow. How did you come up with the Cameron story? That's good. That ain't even in my book.
Actually, Karen is one of my very good friends, and I've never known her to lie, just,
right.
Straight out lie. So maybe there was another element that she witnessed that you didn't, but she put out, her version of events, and Cameron was just very upset. And so I just wanted to know.
He was upset that she put that out?
Yes, he was upset because he said that they were lies.
Because it was portrayed as what?
That basically that he was kicked out because of something that happened with him and Jay-Z.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of that went over my head. I'm glad,
Yeah, that you stayed clear
I'm
of
just
all
glad
that.
I'm not susceptible to BS like that. You know what I mean? Because it does upset people.
Right.
I mean, I can be a victim sometimes. People think I have so much power that I can control so many things, so that makes everything my fault. And I'm like, okay, I don't complain about it, but sometimes I'm like, really? You really think I got that kind of power? Yeah. So I understand it though. I understand how he could feel that way.
Right.
Yeah.
So I know you said you're not finished, but who do you think is the next L.A. Reid? Have you been able to see anybody?
Wow. No, I want to though. Seriously, I want to. I wrote the book also so that people could know that this kind of career exists. Because people don't know. I learned when I was really young. I read Clive Davis's book when I was 18, and that's how I knew what a record man was. Because you don't always see the record man on television, or you don't always. It's not. There's no access to the people behind the scenes.
Right.
So a part of the reason I wrote it is because I want someone to say, I want a career like that. I could do better than he did. Yeah. The next whoever takes my slot. I only hope that they're much better, right? I hope they keep the bar high or raise the bar. I don't give somebody my spot and then they come in and get like 2 hits.
Right.
Right.
Well, they got years to go before they get your spot, like you said.
Yeah, we're still working hard every day.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
L.A. Reid, "Sing to Me" is officially in stores. And man, what is the one thing that you want people to just grab from this book in closing?
That you can make it. It's really simple. You can make it if you try. If you put in the time, you put in the work, you put in your 10,000 hours, and you dedicate yourself to your goals. If you use your imagination, and if you can imagine yourself being this incredible person, that you can become it, right? That's it, really. That's the real message. Wow. And the rest of it are just entertaining stories. But the truth is, it's about this kid from Cincinnati, Ohio, like you.
Yes.
And we made it,
Yep.
And that's what it's really about.
That's what's up, man. We certainly appreciate your time, man.
Yeah,
we
thank
appreciate
you so
you coming
much.
to see us.
Thank you. I love your offices. This is incredible.
Oh, it's going to be better. Just wait on
I'm
it.
not kidding. It's the first control room I went in that had sun.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when we get our whole studio built out, it's still gonna have sun.
All right. Don't block the shades out. Don't do the blackouts. Thanks for having me.
No, we thank you.